Hi
Hi
guys,
guys.
welcome and welcome back to our YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing okay. Thank you so much for tuning back. So today we have this is a really hard video to do, but this is what we want to do. So this is a topic that I know it's very sensitive for so many people, and us maybe speaking out might be helpful to someone out there, maybe who's going through the same thing that's as we went through it.
So the topic for today is being in a toxic relationship,
Mhm.
and yeah, we just wanted to tell you about our experience with it because both of us has been like unfortunately in a toxic relationship before,
Yeah.
and yeah, how we dealt with it, came out of it, and yeah, what we learned about it for our future and our inner awareness.
So for me, I've been in a toxic relationship 2 times, and one of them was so violent. One of them was so violent because I thought I was just fresh from high school, and you just think like, oh, this is the thing. When you're so excited, you're not in school anymore, and this is the person you're with, and you just wanna make everything right. And it came to a point that this person was so toxic. By the way, this is something that no one in my family knows about. I only have one friend who even took me to the hospital. And now, as I met my husband, I also told him the story. And no one from my family knows, because most of you guys know, coming from this African culture, like there are just some things you can't even talk to your mom or talk to your. Of course, some of our sisters and brothers are so judgmental, so sometimes you just kind of keep things to ourselves, and deep down we're like suffering. So I was in this really abusive relationship. I was beaten so bad. I was beaten so bad. My best friend at that time is the one, she took me to the hospital. And actually, in the hospital, I was being asked what was the problem, how it occurred, that because my whole face was swollen. I couldn't even like chew anything from my mouth because it was completely frozen, because he was just slapping me every side of my face. And mind you guys, I tried to run away. I honestly tried to run away, and he came after me. And the moment he got me, he just ended up beating me literally almost the whole night until the brother heard about it. He even came and complained. And yeah, there's nothing that he could do, because the brother was so violent towards me. So the following day, I went to the hospital. I was asked what happened, and I thought I was in love. I lied that it was an accident, and I got treated. And so I was just given these painkillers because I was in so much pain. I was in so much pain. And since he was slapping me, I remember I bit my lips. Since he was really slapping me so hard, I bit my lips. And so my lips were also swollen. Like literally, you couldn't recognize me at the time. And yeah, so it was really bad, really bad. And unfortunately, with where I come from, you can't really speak about this to. I only talk. My best friend at then is the only person who knew about this. She is the only one who knew about this. She is the one who took me to the hospital. And yeah, and that didn't end there, by the way, guys, because I got outside, and then I left that relationship. I got to another relationship. at whereby this was not it was not emotional abuse, because in this relationship I was dating someone, and at first things were really nice. You think things were really nice, and then the mother got involved. The mother got involved, and I don't know who does this, and there's even a time that this guy tried to text me, and I even replied. I told him he should go and never, never, ever to abuse anyone's daughter. Never ever to call anyone's daughter names. Never ever to call, because she also have a daughter. So this woman, and I was actually 1 year older than that person. So I think that was the issue. So the mother was against the relationship, completely against the relationship. And I even, my husband is the one who saw, I showed him the text that this guy was writing, and even this the mother, it's really calling someone's daughter name. You know nothing about me. You have a daughter. How do you expect when someone else calls your daughter's names? How will you feel about it? I guess the mother just didn't wanted the son to be with me. And again, I had opened up to that guy that I have endometriosis and blah, blah, blah. And because, when you're with someone, of course, you kind of need to open up about stuff. So I was open to him about it, and was like, when we're gonna be together, maybe I'm gonna struggle having a child. So this mother took a chance of me opening up, me being vulnerable to the son. She took that chance and started calling me names. Oh, I'm a barren. I'm that woman who might never have a child. This mother, this, I don't know, like she said really, really, really hurtful words. And I don't know. I remember when we were engaged, this guy tried to come and text me. And by that time, I thank God I was not the one with the phone. My husband was the one with my phone. And when that message got into my phone, my husband was like, "You have a text message." And when he opened, it was my ex who had texted. We actually sat down together and read about it. And I was like, I told my husband, I'm going to reply it. And I replied it. He was just kind of being apologetic for nothing. He was a coward, a totally coward. Until now, I will continue calling him a coward. I'm so sorry about those who did that person, because it's just horrible, horrible. Because he never stood up to his mother and tell the mother that we were together, or he was okay with the mother calling me whatever names he was calling me. So he had texted and be like, "Oh, he's sorry from whatever happened. I should find it on my heart to forgive." And I was like, of course I had to forgive him. For me to move on, I had to release that anger and everything. I forgave them, but I just don't want to be anywhere close to such human beings, because you should never treat someone like that. Don't ever use something that someone told you, something that someone is going through with my endometriosis. Don't ever use it to try to abuse me. Never ever. And I told him, I remember my husband saw the text. I told him, go tell your mother never ever to ever mess to anyone else's daughter. She should never mess with anyone's daughter, because how is she going to feel when someone will be calling her daughter names? That's what I told him, and completely block him. Of course, I don't want, that's just not how people live. That's completely not how people live. But that is, unfortunately, that is life. That is what some of us people have gone through. And sometimes it's so hard speaking about these things. And to be honest, I thank God. I thank God that I was able to meet my husband, because Like there are just so many things that I was going through, and I just kept from everyone, and me meeting the person that he doesn't judge me for anything. He doesn't ask me, why did you do this? He doesn't. He just sits and listen and gives me advice. That's what I want. And now that I'm with him, I'm kind of healing from this traumatizing situation that I went through. And I honestly thank God for him, because it's like an eye opener. It's like that was like an eye opener. I didn't know that I needed to release these things from my heart, because I was just keeping them to myself. And the moment you keep some of these things, you're gonna get hurt and you're gonna start getting sick until you're wondering what's going on. But the moment you start releasing them, the moment you start talking about them, it just makes you feel better. And just know, guys, whenever you are in a relationship and you're seeing these red flags, just go. Just go. Don't be there. Don't be blinded by love. Please just go. Just for your own sake. Don't ever allow any man to put a hand on you. And it's not just for only men, but there are toxic women out there too. There are violent women out there. There. Don't ever allow anyone to put a hand on you. You'd rather just walk away. If you're seeing you're having an argument and you're seeing like this argument might end up going to a place that you might not be able to handle, just walk away. Just walk away. They'll rather call you a coward, but you know the reason why you're walking away. But don't let it get to a physical part. Don't allow anyone to put your hand on you. Never. Don't do that. Don't. Just love yourself. And the moment you love yourself, guys, the moment you know your worth, the moment you know how much you mean to yourself, you know, you will never allow anyone to disrespect you or in any manner. Never ever. Yeah. So that was my story. I hope someone will take one or two advice from it, and don't allow yourself to continue being in an abusive relationship. That is not love. It's completely not love. Just first get out of there, start loving yourself. Do what you love. Do what you love in the process of you healing. And the moment you just find yourself and then you know your worth, you'll never allow anyone to disrespect you or even to put their hands on you. Never. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your story, baby, and for your advice.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So,
So let's come to me then. I was one time in an abusive relationship too. It was not physically abusive. It was like first everything started like it should be or supposed to be. Like you're like in the sky in heaven. Everything was like kind of fine. But after a couple of months, it started to kind of decline drastically and pretty fast. And so yeah, that's when of course I got kind of like more and more hurt, because you're already like kind of have fallen in love with that person, because it has already gone like a couple of months. Everything seemed to be like perfectly, and then just from one day to another, things got like kind of worse and worse and worse each
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so everything seemed to be like kind of first okay. We were watching like kind of movies, cooking together, shopping together, all that stuff, going out for walks together, doing like everything together. Everything seemed to be nice, doing pictures. But then kind of, I don't know, like a couple of months later, it started to be like being more and more disrespectful. The person started to be more and more disrespectful to me, started to insulting me. I was like kind of having always the fault, or I was always the issue for any small thing what happened during that person. And I guys, I really tried like kind of my best to do everything, to be always polite, listening, and just do whatever I could, and always be for that person when I was having time, of course, too. And yeah, there were always like kind of such small things. Like for example, I was doing the laundry in one room, the person was somewhere in another room, was already kind of talking to me, but of course I couldn't hear anything. Then I was kind of going to that room, to the person and ask her like, yeah, can you please repeat it? Can you please ask about? Can you please repeat it again? I couldn't hear it properly because I was folding the stuff, doing the
Yeah.
laundry and all those things. And the person got directly like kind of mad and, oh, you're not listening, you're not taking care of blah 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 and all that stuff, you know. And yeah, and it was first it was like kind of just a bit of it, and then by time it was kind of growing, and every time I was already like scared to do anything, to say anything, or it was already like stress for me to meet that person because I knew something will come up the next hours, and then from
Yeah.
there it's going just like down. It was
Yeah.
just like kind of more and more stress to me instead of anything else.
Mm.
And then I remember one evening, we kind of tried to watch something, to watch a nice movie together, and yeah, it was usually always the movies which she kind of liked, but of course for me that was not totally like my genre, but it was still okay for me to watch it because
Yeah.
at least it's okay for me, at least she is the one who likes it. And then I don't know, we kind of, how should I even say, we wanted like to cuddle, to come a bit physically closer, you know. And then I don't know, she kind of totally freaked out and starting to being completely in your position, and told me like, oh, you don't know how to touch a woman, to treat a woman, and blah blah blah, you will never find a woman, if it's not me it's gonna be nobody. And you know, like, stress me completely out about it. And of course, when somebody you love is telling you something, you think, yeah, maybe it's
Yeah.
really like me, maybe I'm the
Yeah.
issue. And I don't know, it was really stressful for me, and it got then worse and worse, and disrespectful, the insulting was becoming more and more.
Yeah.
And I don't know even what to say then. Yeah,
You couldn't handle it.
I couldn't handle it, of course, that noise there.
So
And
how long did you continue being
I
before
guess
you?
the first 2 or 3 months it was like kind of like totally perfect, and then from this end second or beginning third month, things are starting to kind of like to decrease, like in a bad way,
Yeah.
and really drastically, that it's like completely affecting me.
Mm.
And then I've noticed, I don't know, she kept like kind of many sequences and many worries for just herself. Sometimes everything seems to be okay, we like lived separately, then I kind of visited her in her apartment, and all of a sudden she was just like kind of crying for hours the whole night until, you know, and I